Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Victoria Ayodele Fash. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for being here. If you're a new subscriber, you're welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Okay, right. So today's video, I want to try as much as possible not to edit this video. I just want to post what you guys are seeing. I want us to have a raw and honest conversation around the topic of love. Should love be a feeling or should love be a decision? Right. I think I was watching something on Instagram, this week where a lady was, analyzing this, and she made a few points that really resonated with me. And for me, I started to think back to where did we get this ideology that at some point in our lives or in our relationships or in our marriage, love stops becoming a feeling and it starts becoming a decision. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe genuinely, before we even get into it, let me start by saying thank you so much. I wanted to do this in the last video. I did it in the last video, but I had to take the last video down for some reasons. But anyways, I just wanted to say thank you guys so very much for as many that attended the Master Intimacy class. It was a success. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you, particularly to the men that joined. It was a really good class. Thank you. We'll be having the next session very soon. I will let you know, but we'll be having a session for the married couples, only strictly for married couples. When the time comes, I will announce it on this channel. All right. Right. So I was saying that, I was thinking back on my own and trying to find out where we got this ideology. And, I totally get it, right? When we say love will become a decision, right? If you have been married long enough, or you know somebody that have been married long enough, they will tell you that in a lot of ways, feelings are very unreliable. And you don't even need to be married to know that, right? Today you are feeling this. The other day I was, the way I felt about eating afang soup was like, if I don't eat it, it's like something's going to happen. And when I finally made it, I didn't feel like eating it again, right? That's just to tell you now, that might be like a very mundane example, but the idea is that feelings can be very unreliable. So I get it when people say that, love stops becoming a feeling at some point and it becomes a decision where regardless of how you feel about this person, you choose this person. I was saying that if you've been married long enough, you would understand that it's not every day you are in love with your partner, right? I love my husband a lot, but it's not every day I feel in love with him. And sometimes, maybe because of what he has done or what he did or how I perceive what he did, or sometimes it's not even about what he has done. It's just me. It's just I'm in a very irritable mode, or, feelings is also very dependent on the hormones you have in your body, right? If I feel in love with a person, it's because I'm having certain hormones that is being triggered in my body, certain nerves have been triggered in my body. Sometimes your hormones can be disrupted by so many factors health-wise that would also make even the very presence of your partner to irritate you. So it's not every day you feel in love with your partner. Sometimes you feel irritated by them. But in my own mind, my thought is that even in those moments, right, the core of I don't know, even though I am irritated at him, it doesn't mean I don't love him. I think that one of the problems and one of the points that lady make is how trivialized we have made the word love. Many of us, we use the word love very recklessly. Many of us have heard the word love so much that it means absolutely nothing to us, right? So many of us have been heartbroken by people who claim to love us. And so the word love is used so recklessly that it has actually lost its essence. I also feel like many of us, we get lazy at some point in our marriage, in our love life with our partner. And that's when we start to make excuses that, at this point or at this stage in our marriage, it's not about feelings, it's not about decision. So my thing is, at what point in your marriage, in year what, is love supposed to stop becoming a feeling and becoming a decision? How long do you have to be married for? Because, if you live abroad, for instance, many of us, I think it's also the dysfunction of the African home that many of us grew up in, right? Because particularly here in the UK and other parts of the world, you always see like married couples, old couples, and you see them, they go to dance, they go to have exercise, you see them dancing together, having fun like they usually, or that like they did when they were younger. They have this expression of love that they have even to their old age. For a lot of us, we did not see that. Many of us, we even wonder if there was ever a time that our parents were in love. Not saying everybody, there are some people that were so blessed to see their parents, show affection, physical affection to each other, right? But for a lot of Africans, it's so difficult, particularly for the male, right? Many of us have never seen our father kiss our mother, just randomly. It's so weird to a lot of us because we believe for a lot of us, that's why even the idea of our parents having sex it almost traumatizes you, and this happens across board. But the reason why it's so difficult for us to conceptualize the fact that even older people can be so in love with each other as if they just met yesterday is mostly linked to the background that many of us had. And in some shape or form, I think that we use this love. Remember, I already agreed that, yes, there are certain times that you might not feel in love with your partner, that, they might be irritating you, but you don't fall out of love for them. So for a child who grew up and not seeing any kind of affection, physical affection, between their physical or emotional affection between the husband and the wife, many of us never even heard a father tell her mother or a mother tell her father, I love you. Or when he comes back from work, they kiss each other. It's so strange to a lot of us. And because of that, a lot of our mindsets have been twisted in such a way that we believe that there's certain point in our marriage that we'll get to that there will be no physical affection between us and our partners anymore. It will just be business as usual because that's what we grew up seeing. What made love stop being a feeling to being a decision? There's something that transpired between that time. Now, I'm not talking about when, maybe me and my husband, the way we are in love with each other right now. Maybe he does something to me, it irritates me. I don't want to see him. I don't feel that attraction towards him right now. And then we settle and we are back to each other. That's not what I'm saying. Like I said, there'll be times where feelings can be inconsistent, right? Where I don't feel the butterflies, I don't feel the affection or the closeness in that moment. But I do believe sincerely that it is a problem when it becomes sustained and it becomes the normal in a marriage. I genuinely believe that that's a problem because that speaks more to neglect. It speaks more to, taking each other for granted. It speaks more to pent-up offense, pent-up anger, pent-up, emotions that were never addressed. It speaks more to emotional neglect. That's what I think, right? And I'd like to hear what you guys think in the comment section. I do genuinely believe that you guys can, people tell me that, oh, you guys are in love. Don't worry, when you get to 5 years in marriage, it's not going to be like that. No, it's not going to be like that because you stop putting the work. Because you stop putting the work to make the person continue to feel in love with you, right? Many of us, we get into marriage, we stop dating. We stop dating each other. We stop, doing the little things for each other. We stop helping each other. All those beautiful things that we started early in a marriage where I come back from work, I can't wait to meet my husband, I'll sleep on his chest, we kiss and everything. But a lot of things happen. Life happens, right? You have children. There are a lot of things that comes in the way. And before we know what's happening, we start to neglect our husband or our partner or our wife and start to focus on so many things because, oh, you're trying to pursue money, you're trying to leave a legacy for your children, they're trying to do this, you're trying to build that you then neglect each other and your emotions, or there's something that the person is doing that is making you angry and you guys are not addressing issues, and because of that you are putting resentment in your heart, and when you guys do decide to kind of talk about it, you don't really address the core of it, so you finish arguing. The other day, I don't know what happened. Maybe I had a very, very brief, very, very brief disagreement in the house. And when we finished, he came on, he apologized, I apologized, and we're good. And he started to go outside. I'm like, hey, since when? Since when is this how we resolve? No, we don't resolve issues like that. You don't just walk away and I walk away. No. If we're saying that we have ended it, it has to end finish. So we have, at least kiss each other, hug each other, hold each other, because that would return that feeling of affection. But many of us, we just address issues and then we leave. But then there's still pent up anger, or we don't allow each other to talk, or we do, just for peace to reign, we ignore certain things that are triggering us and that is killing our emotions and the feeling that we have for each other. It takes something to build love, right? It takes an action to build love in your heart or in the heart of your partner. When you stop doing those actions, you start to neglect those actions because you're focusing on other things. You neglect each other. And then you then say that, it's because people are young, it's because people are just starting, or it's because you don't have children, or it's because of this and that. No, it's not because of that. It's because you have neglected the affection that you have for each other. There's something, love has to be found, so because, the lady I was listening, she made some really good statement when she talked about, reading from the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, which is the book of love, that particular chapter, and it was talking about love. And one of the things that you can see, right, where the Bible says, the Bible lists a lot of actions that you can do. It says that if I could speak all languages of earth, of angels, but I don't love people, I would only be a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. He's saying that I can do all of these things. I can prophesy, I can preach, but if I don't have love, where? In your heart. So yes, God does not ignore the part that love does require action. For God so loved the world, and out of that love, he did. Right? He gave his only begotten son. Yes, love is action, right? Yes, love is a decision that you have to, that you decide to. Love is a decision, right? However, there is also the emotional reservoir that love comes from. And if that doesn't, so it even talks about a part where it says that, if I give everything that I have to the poor, even if I offer my body as sacrifice and I die for a person, but I don't have love, what love is God talking about? Is it a decision? Because you are deciding to die for the poor. You are deciding to give everything you have. But it says if you don't have love, it says that all you have done is nothing. It doesn't amount to anything, because everything must be done from a place of love. So that in itself shows that love is not necessarily just what you do. It's not necessarily about just deciding to be. Because for me, I just feel like I do believe that there are certain seasons that you might go through in your marriage where, like I said, you are not emotionally attracted. I think that the problem in that phase is not that I stopped loving you. I might not feel the emotional attraction or the emotional whatever roller coaster, the butterfly in the tummy that I usually feel in that moment. But it doesn't mean that I have stopped loving you in my heart, because again, love is not just how you feel, right? But it's also not just a decision, right? I genuinely believe that a decision and feeling should go hand in hand. I feel, because you can feel in love with the person and still cheat on them. Right? You can feel genuinely in love. I can't sleep without you. My feelings is I genuinely feel so emotionally and physically attracted to you. And I'll still cheat on you. And I'll still lie to you. And I'll still do stuff to you. It's not because I don't love you, right? It's just because I've not disciplined myself to make certain decisions. So yes, there is the decision part of love, just like the action part of love, but there's also the emotional part of love that I believe that many marriages are ignoring. And then we camouflage everything. We camouflage pent-up anger, pent-up offense, emotional distance, emotional abuse. We start to live as roommates in the house. There is no love. There is no emotional attachment to each other anymore. And many of us, because that is the pattern that we saw growing up, we see it as normal. We see it as, oh, it's just normal. Marriages get to the point where, you guys don't feel, you don't have time for love. You don't have time for all those things anymore. If you don't have time for yourselves as couples, then what do you have time for? What do you make time for? Right? So I do genuinely believe that many of the things we say sometimes, yes, like I said, there are times that, there is the action or the decision part of love that should not be ignored, where I love this person, and because I love this person, I cannot do certain things. Because I love this person, even if I'm not feeling in love with the person, I choose to remain, I choose to stay, I choose to honor her, or I choose to honor him because, I love them. I might not feel the love right now, but it doesn't mean I've stopped loving them. Many of us, I think the problem is we put love in a box. There's the feeling aspect of love, which I do genuinely believe that should not be ignored. In a marriage, that feeling should always be, you should always fan that flame. So if it means, oh, let's go out once a month, let's go on a date, let's hold hands together when we're outside. Let me tell my wife or tell my husband she looks beautiful, or he looks handsome. Let me do act of service. Let me give words of affirmation. Let me do things that will spark up that love. Let me do things out of the ordinary for her or for him, right? To spark up that feeling. It is important that feeling part of love is fanned, it is sustained in your marriage. But yes, there's also the decision part of love, where even in times where, that's what the Bible says, that in sickness and in health, right? You keep loving each other. When you don't feel that emotional attraction, maybe they are going through something and they are not filling your tank as much as you would, I still choose to be with them. But even in my choosing to be with them, it's not out of, oh, let us ignore what the underlying issue is. Let us ignore the fact that you are being rude to me. Let us ignore the fact that you have offended me. Let us ignore the fact that there's so many things that is not right in our marriage. No, it is I am choosing to stay whilst we try to fix that, whatever is causing the feeling to die. I feel like in a lot of marriages, the feeling aspect of love has died. And many of us have settled for love just being a decision. Nobody, the way I see when people say love is a decision, or I started to see after I listened to that message and actually have a deep thought, the way I feel when people say love is a decision is we have given up. You should want to be with me. You should desire to be with me. The desire part of marriage, the feelings part of marriage, the exciting part of marriage, those parts should always be encouraged. Those parts should never be neglected. Because then what is the point? And this is what we have in a lot of marriages where people are just co-parenting. I mean, they have the day-to-day conversations, sometimes they even have sex every once in a while. There is no connection. There is no play. There is no jokes. There is no laugh. It's always about bills. It's always about the next plan. It's always about, debt. It's always about this and that we have lost our connection. When was the last time you told your wife, you look so beautiful? I'm so in love with you. Right? These are words that should never be scarce in your house. But for a lot of us, we have neglected that part that is now weird. For sure, if you tell your husband now, I love you, baby, how will he respond? If you tell your wife, baby, I love you. Like just last night when I was about to sleep, my husband was gisting me. we're sleeping, about to fall asleep. We're just gisting about the day. And it was just about something that happened at work. And whilst he was there, I'd slept off. I was having difficulty sleeping, but the moment he started talking and I was resting on his chest, I slept off. And by the time I woke up, I woke up, he said, I should know whether he knows I'm sleeping. I said, your voice is like lullaby in my ears. And I told him that, just so you know, I love you. I love how safe I feel, I feel around you, that I can fall asleep, right? Even though I'm restless, just something like that. And, it was just a normal thing. It's a normal thing we say to each other. But don't see, it's those little things that you don't ignore. But but many of us, we don't even sleep in the same room anymore. And we say, oh, there's not, what's love? Love is, no, love is in the beginning. No. No. Do you know, every time I see an elderly couple, going for, particularly white, and they go and have dance, they go for Zumba classes, or you see them on the road and you see the man, paying attention to the woman, you would know that this is something that they have consistently, they have consistently been intentional about throughout their marriage. But we give up. Many of us, I feel like we gave up. Maybe because the marriage was not it did not become what we thought it was going to be. And we gave up. Maybe because we have tried and tried and it wasn't working, so we gave up. It takes two people to make a marriage work. One person cannot do it alone. So I'm not blaming anybody here. But I'm just saying it for those who are maybe in that place, or for even new couples that maybe have this mindset that, all this thing is going to end. It doesn't have to end. It doesn't have to end. There's nothing me and my husband did in our year 1 that we don't do in year 5, or now in year 6. There's nothing we did then that we don't do now. I know you can make case of, it's just the two of you, blah, 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 but I don't think anything will change. It is your intentionality. I know couples around me that have, children, that have a family and everything, and they are still very much in love. They still make jokes. They still go out on dates. They still, it has to be intentional. You have to intentionally want to build that part of your marriage. Don't leave it for dead and just say, now that's what it is. It shouldn't be. It genuinely shouldn't be. I do believe that, yes, there is the decision part of love. Because again, if it's all feelings and no decision, it also doesn't make sense, right? Because I can have feelings for you and still hurt you, right? So there is the decision part. There is also the love part. But I do genuinely believe that a lot of people that say that love is a decision, it's because they are too lazy to put in the work, to fan the flame of the emotional feelings part of love. It's either they are too lazy or they've just given up and they've just assumed that, this is what we've seen growing up and that is what it should be. But when you see people who grew up in homes that, I have a friend, she lost her dad, but every time she talks about her dad and her mom's relationship, her dad has been dead for a while now, and her mom has refused to marry. And it's not because there are no men around. She keeps saying that it's because she cannot, her mom keeps saying that there is no man that can love her the way her father loved her. There has to be intentionality. There has to be, And it's not just you providing. It's not about you just providing and me, taking care of the house. That's not love. What about the simple things? Do we laugh? When was the last time you guys laughed? Laughed yourself. You watched a movie together. You read a book together. You went out on a date together, or you cooked together in the kitchen, or you played video games together, or you learned new things together, or you watched football together. When was the last time you did the simple things together? When was the last time you held your hands together when you're outside? When was the last time you told your wife or your husband, you look so beautiful, you look so good today. I love how you smell. I love, we stop doing those things and then we say, oh, love has died. How would love not die? What you feed is what will live, right? So I know I've said a lot of things today, but I'm just trying to pour out my heart. I don't have any notes, like you can see. If I give my body to be burnt and I give all I have to the poor and I have no love in my heart, it will all be for nothing. It will all be for nothing. So yes, there is the decision part of love, but the feeling part of love should never be ignored in a marriage. The two of them have to work hand in hand. I genuinely believe that. But what do you think in the comment section? Do you believe that at some point in your marriage, feelings doesn't matter? It's just decision. Do you genuinely believe that? And let us have the conversation in the comment section. But yeah, that's what we're talking about today. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to leave a comment. I really want to hear from you guys. Subscribe to this channel if you like, and if you haven't. And yeah, leave a like. Please leave a like on this channel. It will help YouTube algorithm to show it to other people. So yeah, I would like to hear from you guys. Thank you guys so very much. Until we take a nice to remain Victoria Ayodele Fash. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, have an amazing week. All right. Bye. Bye, guys.